My name is Irina Adams, and I'm the owner and manager of Next Level Riding Clinics, and I've been snowmobiling for about 5 years. I took my riding to the next level about 5 years ago when we started the clinics. I saw our clients that came to the clinics to ride with Dan improve their riding significantly over a couple of days, and that inspired me, and I decided to ride and ride more. Snowmobiling is a sport that uses both strength and cardiovascular. The thing is, and the trick is that no matter how much strength you have, if you don't have the oxygen to provide to the muscles, it's useless. So cardio is definitely the most essential thing in snowmobiling, because if you don't provide you have no strength if you don't have the oxygen provided and going to the muscles. Being fit before you get out on the mountain is definitely going to help with your cardio fitness and being able to provide the oxygen necessary to the muscles when you ride. Cardio fitness is not about breathing more, because a lot of times people get out of breath and actually are not able to catch their breath because their cardio fitness is not there. In turn, they're not providing the oxygen that your muscles need to ride. So being fit and being able to get fit when you're at a lower elevation and actually strengthen and bring your cardio endurance to that level before you ride will provide you with cardio strength that you need on the mountain. Staying hydrated when riding is very important, and that doesn't mean pounding 3-4 cups of coffee before you get on the trail. That's meaning you're carrying enough fluids throughout the day to last you during the ride. That way all of your muscles are able to, as you tire out and your muscles are building up lactic acid in the muscles, you need to be able to flush it and keep it hydrated as you ride. Carbonation doesn't affect the kind of fluids. You can drink carbonated water and that's still going to be a lot better. More of what you're looking for is actually the nutritional value of what you're drinking. So a sugary pop soda drink definitely is not something you want to be drinking. You're looking for something like a sport drink. Gatorade would be a little bit better. It has more electrolytes to be able to replenish and support your fitness as you're riding. Being in shape before you ride is vital. Riders spend a lot of money into their snowmobile sleds and getting them ready for the season. What they forget is that if the rider on top of the sled is not fit enough to ride the sled, it doesn't matter how fast or powerful your sled is if you can't enjoy it to its capability. Something to consider when you're snowmobiling is that if you're out of shape, unloading a sled from your truck just to get yourself ready to ride might be already an exhausting experience. With you having a whole entire day ahead of you to ride, if you're in shape, you're going to be able to be more prepared and enjoy the whole experience more. Plus, there's things happen, mechanical issues happen with the sleds. If you're not fit enough, you might end up cutting your day short, affecting the rest of the group. Being sweaty and just not enjoying it because you're huffing and puffing and fogging up your goggles and you're just exhausted, and it actually puts your whole entire group into possibly an unsafe situation if you're the guy who can't hold the side hill and ends up dumping the sled into a ravine, and you spend the rest of the day digging it out and trying to get it out. A lot of times people who are not fit can't finish their riding day, because when you get to somewhere where everybody just kind of, yay, we got to our place where we were riding to, that's just halfway. You still have to ride back. And if you're not fit enough, and the rest of your group is in a little bit better shape than you are, you're going to struggle. So taking those actions prior to the riding season, taking, 12 to 6 weeks, or, just any kind of action to get yourself in shape before you ride is better than not doing it at all. A good way to prepare for yourself for that first ride is, to get yourself into some kind of a fitness routine. Something to consider as a snowmobiler is cardio, strength, endurance, agility, and flexibility. For snowmobilers, it's very important to have cardio, like we said, to get the oxygen to the muscle. You are wrestling a 500-pound machine, you better be able to breathe when you're doing it. So doing cardio, and I'm not saying you have to run. It's not about running miles or running a marathon. If you're not a runner, no problem. You can do short, high-intensity cardio workouts in your workout routine to increase your cardio strength. So you can do something where you're lifting weights and then you do a set of 1 to 2 minute high-intensity exercise where you jump rope, you run in place, you do jumping jacks, you do burpees, back box step-ups, something to increase your cardio breathing, something that gets you. Cardio, what it is it's exercise for your heart. It's your muscle that is essential, because if your heart is not working properly and is not strong enough to pump that oxygen, the rest of you is not going to function or be able to ride well. So being able to, in doing cardio, is not only good for snowmobiling, but life in general. So following cardio, strength exercises are very important. And for snowmobilers, doing free weights, kettle workouts, bands, any kind of upper body workout will significantly help a snowmobiler. A lot of the steering is done with your upper body, and it's your arms and your shoulders and your chest with the core and back provide kind of stability for a snowmobiler. So this is a shock system. That is why you need to have that strength in the arms and shoulders and chest in order to be able to kind of absorb what your snowmobile is doing and what it's translating to the rider. Endurance. So when you are working on your strength, something you want to consider as a snowmobiler is you're not going for a bodybuilder look. What you're doing is 3 to 4 sets of exercises at higher reps. So each time you do an exercise, you want to do 15 to 20 reps to build up that endurance, because most of us don't ride for an hour or two. In order to be able to survive and enjoy that ride, you need to be able to be, have the endurance to last a whole day and ride out safely. Agility is the next thing that's something snowmobilers need to think about. Agility is footwork. Footwork on your snowmobile to be able to move around your sled and be able to do it quick as you're responding to the terrain and you're responding what the snow conditions are doing under the sled. It's vital. So doing jumping, a lot of you can do it on the sled when it's in the shop and be able to comfortably jump over the seat back and forth and kind of feel where the board is. Because if you do it when you're not in the field, your body and muscle memory will help you when you're riding and you're out on the hill. Agility for a snowmobiler is vital. And to be able to be agile while wearing 20, 30, 40 pounds of weight in your gear is kind of a hindrance. So practicing that and doing some of that in your gear is helpful. If you want to be able to kind of get geared up and jump around your sled before the ride, and when you're not necessarily riding, and do some of your fitness preparation in your gear so you're used to being able to move around and not be like a Christmas story kid with your gear. So when you are practicing and being fit and trying to get ready for your riding season, it is important for you to be aware that you're going to be not only agile, but agile while you're carrying a lot of weight. Flexibility is essential to a snowmobiler. 2 major injuries that snowmobilers endure during the season is pulled hamstrings and pulled back muscles. When you pull something during the season, if you think back to your last year and you're like, man, yeah, I pulled that, it means you need to stretch. Stretching doesn't have to be something, crazy and extreme. You don't have to take yoga classes. You can touch your toes. That's stretching. Reach your arm around. That's stretching. So do some basic stretching moves that will help your muscles kind of stretch out, because after a day of riding, all your muscles want to do is just cramp up, tighten up, and guess what? Unless you do something to unbind that, they're going to stay that way until you put some more pressure or weight on it or stress on it, which means the following ride, and most likely that's when you will pull and injure yourself. When you're riding and you feel exhausted and start to kind of, your body starts to lock up a little bit. A couple of things to consider and do is make sure you have plenty of fluids and you're hydrated. Also, take a couple of deep breaths, get some of that oxygen back into your muscle, because a lot of people, we get out riding, kind of having fun, and we forget to breathe. So that's something that is really important, to be able to take just a couple of deep breaths and also, stretch it out. Your muscles are cramping, they need you to move around a little bit and stretch things out. So stretch out the cramp, don't overdo it, because sometimes you'll actually hurt your muscle, but be gentle to it, take some breath, take some water. Taking an Advil or something after the ride is definitely, it will help you, it'll take the edge off. The bottom line, if you are fit to ride, you will not need to have to take something at the end of the day. It'll feel good, the muscles will be really nice and tired, but it's not a soreness necessarily that you'll need a medication for. Also, taking a hot tub or a hot shower will help all those lactic built up move through your body and make sure and hydrate, and it'll actually help out. Beauty of snowmobiling is that everybody does it. You're young, you're old, you're short, you're tall, you're skinny, you're overweight, everybody does it. If you address the fitness part of it before snowmobiling, it will help. So if you're not, an athletic guy or a gal and you don't want to go to the gym, that's not necessarily what you have to do. Just get moving. Be active. Do something that you like to do. Get out and walk around the block. Increase your activity level. If you mountain bike. If you want to go fishing, but hike there instead of driving your truck, right to the dock. So just be moving and be active, and just increase your level of fitness prior to riding, because that will help you on the snow, and it will help you when you're snowmobiling. It doesn't have to be something intense, and you don't have to go in the gym and start lifting weights. It will help, but you don't have to do that. You can do push-ups at home. If you can't do full push-up, do a push-up off your knees. Any kind of increase in your physical activity will help. Anything helps. The thing about snowmobiling is that you want to get out and enjoy outdoors, and enjoy your family and friends, and enjoy snowmobiling as a sport. To do that, you need to be able to feel good. To feel good, you need to be in better shape. The only thing I want to say is just be fit to ride.